Summer Money, we're going to introduce you to an entrepreneur and a business owner making waves in the education space. It's called Education on a Plate, a business that designs and sells meal plates for kids aged between 2 to 10 years that enhances their early learning experience. The business has captured the attention of one of Australia's largest department store chains, Myer, and in just 10 months, the plates are now being sold in more than 200 locations across Australia. Entrepreneur Natalie Simon is the Sydney mum behind the concept. She joins me in the studio. Natalie, welcome to Summer Money.
Thank you very much for having me, Dan.
So first of all, just tell us, what is Education on a Plate?
So Education on a Plate started off as a concept. I'm a mum of 3, and I remember when I was younger, I found academics a little bit challenging. I was a bit of a slow learner to begin with at school, and I always wished that education was just provided to me on a silver platter, so to speak. And I suppose when I had kids, I thought, well, what way can I make their learning journey a little bit more fun and interactive and not as maybe daunting as what it was for myself? And then Education on a Plate was born. I thought the concept of bringing education to the table when, as a mum, most of the time we're feeding them breakfast and feeding them, making lunches and dinner time, and what better way to engage in conversation and education than meal times.
So how do they work? Just show us what they look like as well. What's the story behind them, and I guess how did you come up with the idea?
So I guess the idea was pretty simple. I tried to generalise topics that I thought were needed and useful for children. The ages range between 2 to 10, and they specifically fit early learning, so daycares, preschools, and all the way to probably Year K to Year 2. And they're colourful, they're fun, they're interactive. I think they're quite funky. They've got a lot of information around the border. So this is the world map, for example. And my 4-year-old son, for example, loves pointing out that Australia's an island. He recognises a lot of the different continents, and around the border we've got information, highest mountain, biggest ocean, etc. So it's really just, conversation. Any parent or any carer, grandparent can put as much information as they want into it and get as much engagement.
And they have just been so successful since you started, but you have no business background whatsoever. So tell us, just how challenging has this been for you?
It has been challenging. I'm actually a physio by profession, 20 years being a physio, and I'm used to just dealing with people one-on-one. So launching myself into the retail space has been a massive learning curve. A little bit challenging, daunting, but I think if I would have known what it was all about, maybe I wouldn't have just taken that, that leap of faith. But I've met a lot of great people along the way, and the feedback's really positive. The testimonials I'm getting from parents, kids are enjoying the plates. I've found with my own children, it's had a really positive effect on their learning. So I guess that's my motivation to just keep going.
So talk us through, I guess, the process from design to manufacturing, and what are some of the challenges that you experience along that journey?
Yeah. My ideas work probably quicker than actually getting it out there into production. So I've got a multitude of ideas and where I want to go. I guess the first step is just to come up with the concept. So whether it's the map of the world, or whether it's a healthy eating plate, or planets, or whatever's going to come, or what I've got. Draw it. I use graphic designers to put it onto, to make it into a graphic, because I don't have great computer skills. I found a great manufacturer in China that I've got a great relationship with, which has made it very effective. I designed the mould. That was a bit of a challenge. The first mould didn't work out as I expected, so I had to redo that mould. But I like what I've created, and let's keep going.
And they're also educational as well, because there is a little bit of theory and research behind what you're doing here, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. I mean, like I said, it started off more as a general idea and a concept to bring family meal time together, to eat, learn and interact with my kids. And as I was delving further into the educational component, for example, the 1 to 100 chart, or the timetable, I was learning more about the early learning research, and it was showing lots of information that bringing family, carers, children together in the education process enhances better outcomes, for our kids in the future. And then reading more, you learn about the numeracy and literacy of Australia, which could definitely be improved, and there's a further on effect to the economy with that as well. So there's a lot of research behind why making education fun and interactive and involving a whole community is beneficial.
So how are you planning on growing as well? Because that would be one of the hardest things about this.
Well, I guess social media helped me at the beginning. I was never a Facebook fan, and I got into Facebook and a LinkedIn profile, and I've started writing some blogs, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of those social media platforms. I've done a few trade shows. I've got another one coming up in February, and that was great. My first trade show was last February. I think I picked up maybe 19, 20 customers, and then I did another one in August that year and picked up 90. So it was fantastic, and I think just word of mouth, shows like this are great, but just people experiencing them, talking word of mouth, and, you know, we'll go from there.
And as we can see on our screen now, obviously the uptake, this is pretty interesting as well. Children using it, interacting with it, it's just such, I guess, an interesting concept as well. What advice would you give to other entrepreneurs who have an idea but just are working really hard to get it out there? Yeah,
I think a lot of people warned me not to do it and said it's going to be very costly and it's going to be difficult and just to don't give up my physio day job. But I thought the concept was good. I still think the concept is good. Other people think the concept is good. The feedback's there, and I guess I'm just following my intuition. It's not easy. It is a bit of a challenge, but I mean, I live for a challenge, and I'm happy to take on that challenge. I'll have no regrets having gone down this path. So
tell us, what other plates have you got in the rack, and also how many designs altogether are there?
Yeah, so I've currently got 9 designs that I'm selling. There's plenty in the works, so there's 3 that will be released early in the year. The alphabet plate, the map plate, the timetable plate, the clock plate are all very, very popular. For the younger age group, we've got the shapes, which, you know, my eldest son is 10, and I'm not sure if he probably knows nonagon and decagon and those sorts of things by now. But
so they're probably the more advanced plates.
No, this is more simple, but it's interesting that they really do have a lot of educational value between the ages, like I mentioned, from 2 to 10. So there are some that look particularly younger, like the seasons plate. But when you delve into them, you know, a lot of them have how many days are in December and January, and they talk about how many weeks are in the year and months are in the year. And so there's a lot of mathematical concepts in these plates as well. And the more you delve into them, the more you use them, the more you interact with them, the more the kids and you, as you know, as the carer or the teacher, gets out of the plates.
And financially, has it been rewarding for you so far?
Yeah, financially, it's a challenge because you have to outlay a little bit of money. It's different to my old career, which is a service, and you do something and you get immediate reward. But yeah, it's fine. Financially, it's going well. Yeah.
Well, Natalie Simon, thank you so much for joining us on Summer Money. Really appreciate it, and wish you all the best with your venture.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Well, it is time to take a break. When we return, though, we'll take you inside the world's biggest tech conference. Stay with us.